I'm Ohm Youngmisuk here with Dan Graziano for ESPN.com. We're here to go over the Giants-Cowboys game. Dan, 6 turnovers. Tom Coughlin must have been beside himself. How are the Giants even in this game with 6 turnovers?
Well, what's amazing about the game is that they still had a chance to win it at the end in spite of the 6 turnovers. Eli Manning and the receivers, we'll get to that in a second, but the story of the night, they gave the Cowboys the ball 6 times. David Wilson, poor David Wilson, who fumbled the ball in the opener against the Cowboys last year and famously got in Tom Coughlin's doghouse for it, fumbles twice in this year's opening loss to the Cowboys and gets benched in the third quarter as a result. So I think this is a big storyline going forward this week. How does Wilson recover? Are they going to continue to use him as the starting running back? You know, you've been around this team for years. How do you think Tom Coughlin and the veterans on this team handle that?
First of all, I think Tom Coughlin has no choice but to stick with David Wilson. Even if they sign a veteran running back off the street, it's going to take a while for the guy to learn the offense. This team knows how much David Wilson means to them. I asked Tom Coughlin afterwards, is David Wilson still your starter? He snapped at me a little bit and basically said, now's not the time to discuss this. But I think Coughlin knows he has no choice but to go with David Wilson. And I think a lot of the players, by saying that they rallied around him, made sure he's okay, to make sure his head is on right. They know how much he means to this team. It is a little concerning, though. I watched Wilson a lot on the sideline. He seemed totally disengaged from the team once he was benched. He was kind of sitting on the bench, and hopefully the young guy will get his act together now. Let's get to those receivers. One positive for the Giants. Eli Manning threw a lot. Victor Cruz looked great. Talk about his 3 targets.
Well, 3 touchdowns for Victor Cruz. Cruz, Hakeem Nicks, and Ruben Randall all went over 100 yards receiving. So Eli Manning in that passing game did look good, especially in the second half when they had to come back. So that's something to watch moving forward. Cruz looks healthy coming off the bruised heel. Hakeem Nicks looks healthy after taking it really slow all offseason, as we've written several times. And Randall, of course, they're expecting big things from. So it still looks like they're a good passing offense that can come from behind in the second half. But they still look like a team that's going to have to do that a lot, and that's not what they want to be.
Well, that's it for the Giants-Cowboys. That's Dan Graziano. I'm Ohm Youngmisuk for ESPN.com.